In 1972, Todd Rundgren was brimming with so much creative energy that a conceived single album quickly blossomed into the double platter du jour, Something Anything, and from it, the futuristic, groundbreaking electro jazz pop of Breathless. Okay, take apart the sounds already. We've got that beatbox going on with some like kind of like misty percussion enhancing it. We've got that like synth bass. It sounds like we've got those kind of like wah wah electro sounds. Wah 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 wah. Got that high kind of pipey tone. No, no, no. Yeah, kind of giving sort of a kind of dampening the percussion feel. Actually, the whole percussive element may just be electronic. And that sound right there, I love that sound. Perhaps my favorite sound in the whole thing, really. That. I like half steps, kind of chromatic. Yeah, taking a melody and just kind of descending chromatic scale. And yet there's kind of like a pitch bendy quality to it. It's not the kind of feel you would get if this had just been played on like regular instruments. There. Okay, I'm three on top of the percussive element. There's three layers. There's the wah, there's the pipey sound, the high tone, and then there's that really zany like analog like. Those lower arpeggios. Yeah, just kind of throwing into this. Odd meter here. I swear there's just a little bit of pitch bending or something about it. It's giving it this kind of trippy, otherworldly sound. Feel and all that. And now we got some like actual like old fashioned kind of saloon type playing a little bit here. It sounds like a harpsichord. Yeah, kind of like or kind of like something that you might hear like in like in an ice rink or something, or I should just say bar room. Yeah, it's just going through all. It's just kind of like traveling through space and time, really. I mean, we have that kind of like futuristic electro psych element, and then we go kind of like sort of back into like the 1910s, the 1920s. Bit of Latin percussion coming out on my right speaker. Oh, hearing some other sounds coming up. Hearing that like kind of like that. Oh. Two different keyboards are doubling up on that. There's. God, this might be like this is one of the earliest uses of a beatbox. I think 1972 might be the earliest year that I've heard it used. I think Kraftwerk used it on Kraftwerk 2. I think Tangerine Dream used it around this time. Well, no, this was the year of Zeet. I don't know if I heard them use it this early. And Kingdom Come, Arthur Brown's used one around this time. Um, and other than that, uh, the yeah, like over the next couple of years, there would be a few more people. Like George McRae would use it on "Rock Your Baby," and and Brian Eno would use it on his second album, "Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy." Going back into that trippy sound again, that oh, that kind of light, that like sparkling, like marquee type light keyboard in the middle, and then that kind of a motion sickness sort of dysrhythmia. Yeah, no, notice how that it's almost kind of like that rhythm box is kind of metronomic. How it was keeping pace, and then the pace, it's the same beat. It just kind of sped up a little bit. Yeah, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2. I can't count how many layers are on this. It's just so much color, tonal color to it. That's the only song like this on Something Anything. Although and really it's kind of like one of a kind in his catalog. Although in a few years he would be doing more of these like experimental, like electro numbers. Except that he would just continually be embracing some of the newer sounds, and like like the next album he would have it scattered about. It was that album, like a Wizard of True Star, going all over the place, and then the next two albums, Todd and Initiation, and the first Utopia album, yeah, would have tons of moments. Of course, on Utopia he wasn't. Moogie Klingman was handling the keyboards, yeah, and he would. But this is like one of a kind because it's kind of more. Some of those sounds are kind of very like I guess early '70s in a way, but futuristic for their time. Not really being used by rock music. Instruments that weren't electronics that hadn't really been embraced in rock yet. Hadn't really come out much from the labs at that point, and yeah, and amazing virtuosity for a 24-year-old at the time. Yeah, and programming. I mean, he did this all himself. I can't imagine just how long it took him and just the imagination that was going through his head. I mean, all that dazzling. Yeah, how many actual layers were at its densest? I mean, heck, 8. Yeah, let's hear another track from the album, a very different one, but the next one up on side 2. Yeah, side 2 being my favorite side on the whole album, and yeah, and he wrote, produced, and performed every single instrument on the first 3 sides of the album. Yeah. The next track, "The Night the Carousel Burned Down."
Weren't you there when the carousel burned down?
Okay, already we've got that kind of brittle piano, and the bass note is going da G da, like G, like the root note G D, yeah, low fifth, yeah.
Fire and confusion, the smoke and the sound.
And now up to C, C G, G being the fifth, but doing like a low fifth.
I swear you were there when the carousel burned down.
Oh God, how is it that how would I describe that sound? It seems to be kind of panning in a way. Kind of kind of like a helium psychedelic music hall.
Rings charred and tarnished all over the ground, and her head's unbound.
Yeah, there's a bit of a 20s like circus culture vibe conjured up here. A bit of a 20s slapstick.
We all left town the next day.
And yet at the same time, okay, so I shouldn't say slapstick. I would just say kind of like a 20s carnival vibe, but there's also that real sentimental vibe that Todd Rundgren, because this being the period where Todd Rundgren was just kind of coming out of his Laura Nyro fixation around this time. And there's still a lot of that. And this is also like a very tender, very emotional album that can get really experimental and kind of dark and just like odd and off kilter in places. But so I get more than anything, the vibe I get from like this number and many others is a sentimental vibe. He could be maybe reminiscing or telling the story of an event that happened long ago. I'm thinking maybe the night the Carousel burnt down is an event from history that may have happened in the 20s.
The children all cried when the carousel burnt down. The only silent the carousel burnt down.
Telling about the people, it was like a big event, a big trauma in people's lives. Let's see. Weren't you there when the carousel burnt down? The fire and confusion, the smoke and the sound. I swear you were there when the carousel burnt down. We were all around. The rings charred and tarnished all over the ground, and our heads hung down. And I love this part, the main kind of hook line of the song. And we all left town the next day. So it was the end of their community. Yeah, I'm afraid to kind of Google this because I'm afraid it's going to bring up pictures of the early 20th century, like, no, it's safe. It's just bringing up, no, I Google that title and I do a photo. It's bringing up Ferris. Oh, let's see, I scroll down somewhat, the Great Fire of New York, 1776. I don't really know about that event. I know about the Great Fire of Chicago and the Great Fire of Boston, but not. I didn't know that there was a Great Fire in New York the same year that that the Declaration of Independence was signed. Yeah, I'm scrolling down. I kind of have a policy of not bringing up like Victorian era photos so close to before I go to sleep because they oftentimes have kind of a haunting quality. I thought I was going to bring up that this might refer to a specific like historical event that may have happened early in the 20th century, and there could be like some ghastly fire photos or something from it, but nah, it seems to be fictional.
Rest of us light as the carousel burnt down, and the flames did fly. The pipes steamed and shrieked out a blazing goodbye as the
Oh, so many layers here. Let's take it by, and he's harmonizing with himself. Yeah. He's playing like the inside of a grand piano. It sounds like that echoey sound. I think that's what. No, no, that's a zither. That. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's a waltz. I love the way that everything dropped out and it was just him and the piano and we all, on that immortal line.
The next day.
Oh, hear that little pipey sound? No, that pipey variation of that melody.
The
like a psychedelic variation of the melody, and like slowed down and. Different variations of that melody just come winding in and fading in and out. Oh, that just the way it blurs, like through between like G and with an emphasis on na 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 with an emphasis on the seven and then up to like B flat. Yeah, that. Or right here we're in F. A, uh, rocking between A and E. G minor. D. Oh, that rise right there. No. Yeah, just some like notes kind of like rising over the. And once again, that drop out, and just him and that piano.
The next day, and we all left town. The next day, and we all left town. We all left town. We all left town.
I love how he just harmonizes with himself. You can tell all those voices are the guy. And I just love his confidence. I mean, he's a master at whatever he puts himself to. I mean, he may not have been born with the world's most, richest, fullest, gifted, voice. I mean, he may not win any awards in that category, but he can at least be serviceable in anything he puts, and can have that kind of angelic quality that that's good for like harmony, pop, and pulls it off well. He didn't need anyone else to help him out. What I was really trying to say there is that he as he harmonized, he was he was giving range to the vocals. It wasn't just like his main voice and the harmonies. There was some vocal range that was being put together there as he overdubbed. And now we're going into just the stormy. I think this is the smoke engulfing the ruins of the carousel. Yeah, it's just all crumbling down. And now the smoke is cleared away, and this is just the remains, the, charred. Everyone's clearing out of town. Just that sound, how does he... What kind of effects were used to give it that remote? It's so remote, it's so period, it just takes you away to another place in time. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love dun 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 dun. Yeah, going. Yeah, that ultimate rise from G from the ordinary chord of like G, and like going between like root and fifth, and then rising up to like B flat, which you don't hear in many pop songs, and just gives it that special lift. How would I describe that sound? The effects I love. I haven't heard that a piano sound like that anywhere else. There's some kind of effect. It's got a sound of its own. I could say I could just make a band simile and say it sounds like a mixture of a piano and a harpsichord, but no, it's got its own sound. Yeah, that Todd Rundgren, The Night the Carousel Burned Down, and I should maybe read a song meaning. Does anyone say anything? What an eerie song, and into both a beloved object as well as the end of time of togetherness for a group of friends. I get the impression that it was both of their times to part ways, but that it's sad to see them go, about a travesty. That was one comment on songmeanings.com. Okay, yeah. Posted like 13 years ago on that site. And yeah, I guess anyone's interpretations could be as good as the next person on that. And yeah, Todd Rundgren, amazing talent, just an endless well of songwriting brilliance and instrumental prowess of anything he touches, and just I just love. I will for music appreciators worldwide will forever be grateful that he gave so much of himself in his prime, and has left behind such a great legacy, and he's still out there, touring and such. And yeah, and I first heard this album when it was 16 years old in 1988, and even back then it had a quaintness to it that just took you away to another place and time. Yeah, yeah. Todd Rundgren. Yeah, two songs from his 1972 epic double album, Something Anything. The side two, Rubies, The Night the Carousel Burned Down, and before that, Breathless. Yes, the Breathless electro-futurist instrumental like no other. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the catalog of Todd Rundgren, see the directory of albums by American art pop and blue-eyed soul artists, linked in the description below, for Red Hot Tracks and Purples from all of Todd Rundgren's albums from the 70s. Well, from like 1970, from when he first went solo, up through like 1995 anyway. And like-minded artists from the time period, like including some he's worked with, like Hall & Oates, of course. And then like Steely Dan. And you can also go to the directory of albums by American maximalist rock artists to see the Utopia catalog. And yeah, and also as well as albums by the Tubes, another band that Rundgren worked with at one point. Yeah. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two tracks we just heard, the layers, the nuances, the tonal colors, the melodies, the counter melodies, the sound effects, where they were coming from, how they were done, just the whole melange of just smoke and mist and helium and just whatever visuals that conjured up in your mind. Yeah, and the lyrics, if you have any interpretation of the story to that second number anyway. Until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled maximalist, signing off.